You think you're the Harbinger. You might be.
Mortal Shell 2 is the sequel of a Souls-like game released in 2020 that wasn't a really big project, but the second game promises to be greater in all aspects, and it looks good. It's being developed by the studio Cold Symmetry, and is confirmed to Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, and Windows, and is planned to be released in some moment of 2026. An interesting Souls-like game for fans of hardcore action RPG. The first game had an interesting mechanic, and this one will keep it. That's using different shells, that gives you different features and possibilities.
His parents cut their own rope to save him. He watched them fall, then found his way off that mountain. He was 11 years old.
He then started a grand tour of every major boarding school in Britain.
Always at the top of his class.
Always at odds with authority, same thing in the Navy.
But what he did in Iceland...
What he did in Iceland was insubordination.
007 First Light is a new action stealth game of the famous agent James Bond, all with impressive graphics, and a gameplay that looks really fluid and fun, mixing stealth and frantic action moments. The studio developing the game is IO Interactive, and it's coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch 2, and PC in some moment of 2026. A thrilling espionage action-adventure game followed James Bond as a young, resourceful, and sometimes reckless recruit in MI6 training program and discover an origin story of the world's most famous spy.
James.
So you shouldn't have.
We're facing a situation of the
Every time.
She's not your friend, Bond. She's an asset.
With respect, Mom. To hell with that.
Silent Hill F is the totally new Silent Hill game after more than 10 years. I'm not counting the short message here. That is not a true Silent Hill, to be honest. The game is being developed by the studio Neobards Entertainment Limited and is coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows, and it's confirmed to September 25, 2025. For the first time in the main series, the game won't be set in Silent Hills. Yes, it'll be set in Japan, as you can see. Despite that, we can see that it looks bizarre, just like a Silent Hills game gotta be, and they promised that it's going to be a true Silent Hill experience, a true survival horror, with bizarre creatures and an immersive and unsettling story.
Hinako, どこにいるの? 一人は嫌だよ。寂しいよ。ずっと一緒だよって。If you recall, very swift and much 25 kilometers radius of ground zero now. 55 seconds. 50 seconds. headlights.
Project Robot is the next game project of one of the biggest video game directors ever, the master Fumito Ueda, the creator of Shadow of the Colossus, The Last Guardian, and more. So far we don't know much about the game, but it's being published in a partnership with Epic Games, and the platforms so far are not confirmed. Probably this won't be the real name of the game, but to see how it's really going to be we'll need to wait for more details. Resident Evil Requiem is finally a totally new Resident Evil game announced. The game promises to be a new era of survival horror games, just like Resident Evil 7 was some years ago, and Resident Evil 2 Remake as well. Requiem promises to be different, with new characters, a new approach, but still a survival horror game mixed with action, and the first trailer is really insane. It's being developed by Capcom and is coming out in February 27, 2026 to Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, and Windows.
Alyssa died 8 years ago. Perhaps it's time for you to face the past.
Stay away from that!
The castle has been sighted again. The Church's orders are absolute. These human sacrifices must be stopped. We will track the ethereal castle, break its gates, and exterminate the creatures that dwell within. The Demon Lord himself will fall by our...
Bloodstained: The Scarlet Engagement is the new game of an amazing Metroidvania series. It's being developed by the studio Artplay and is confirmed to 2026, coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. A Switch version wasn't confirmed yet, but I believe it'll be. Unravel the dark history of the Bloodstained universe and explore a hauntingly immersive 16th century England steeped in a 2.5D Gothic atmosphere, enthralling players in strategic battles, crafting, and exploration across a sprawling, cursed land. The previous game was an amazing Metroidvania experience for fans of old-school games, and this one promises to do a great job too.
With me! Cross!
Reaper! Tonight, we start our mission!
And kindness. Take the easy times what shape us, nay. 'Tis how we rise to face the hard times what does that for us. Forgive me, daughter. 'Twere my only choice.
I shall be the bringer of salvation.
The Witcher 4 is finally the new adventure of this beloved series. The game is being developed by the studio CD Projekt Red, just like the other games of the series, and is coming out probably in 2026 or later to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and Windows. The series is known for being an extremely immersive and massive RPG series, with hours and hours of content with a lot of quality. This new experience will be set after The Witcher 3. But the difference here is that the protagonist won't be Geralt anymore, but Ciri, an important character of the third game. Stranger Than Heaven is the new game of the studio responsible for the Yakuza series, a beloved studio that really knows how to do a great story. The studio is Ryuga Gotoku, and for now we still don't know when the game is coming out, and neither the platforms, but I'd say 2026, and probably Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, Switch 2, and Windows. The story will be set in Japan, in the year 1943, during the Second World War, but it doesn't look like it's going to be about war, but we'll need to wait to see more.
Got a name?
Mako. Daito.
Daito. A Jap then, huh?
Don't I look like one?
You're not? So, what are you then?
さあな、俺が知りてえや。
Off your ass! And you ain't paid your nugs yet?
Do the same for that. Hey! What?
Gothic Remake is the returning of a classic and acclaimed RPG game that was officially released over 20 years ago, and now the game is coming out to the new generation, developed in Unreal Engine 5, and promises to be a great experience for fans of immersive RPG games. The studio developing it is Alchemia Interactive, and it's coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Windows. Return to the Valley of the Minds in this faithful remake of the genre-defining classic RPG. Explore a handcrafted, organic open world that reacts dynamically to your actions in a gritty, unrestricted experience like no other.
Creating Gothic Remake, we focus on the 4 pillars that we consider the core of the series. Simulation of a living world, exploration, story, and combat. Like the original 2001 title, Gothic Remake is set on creating an immersive and realistic world. Enjoy a complex life simulation on a scale hardly ever seen before in a video game.
God Save Birmingham is an insane sandbox open-world realistic game about zombies. The game is being developed by the studio Ocean Drive Studio, and its early access version is planned to 2025, but only for PC, on Steam. But later the game will also be released on Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5. Survive an undead plague in a painstakingly recreated medieval market town. Manage your needs, master physics-based mechanics, and evade the horde for as long as you can. A game with a realistic approach in many details, crafting, combat, movements, and possibilities, and it promises to be one of the most immersive zombie games ever.
The great Silkovsky once said, "One could count 1,000,000 billion suns in the known universe. So why do we deny other intelligent beings? It is said, if they were out there, they would have visited Earth.
Atomic Heart 2 is the sequel of an original and interesting first-person shooter RPG game released some years ago. The second game promises to improve the weak points of the first game, and also bring better graphics, a more fluid gameplay, and a more immersive open world, since it was the biggest flaw of the first game for me. The studio developing it is Munfish, and it's coming out to PC and consoles, which consoles are not confirmed, but probably all of the current generation.
Maybe they will visit us, but time has not come yet for this. The dawn of a new era. The era of Atomic Heart 2.
Spirit stones. Shining stones imbued with humankind's never-ending dreams. Since time immemorial, this power has been the impetus for human wars.
Such an ominous...
Nioh 3 is the next game of this amazing action RPG series that was created in the Souls-like style, but with its own personality. It's being developed by Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo Games and is coming out early in 2026, but is only confirmed to PlayStation 5 and Windows so far. You can enjoy an instantaneous and seamless switch between two combat styles during battle, facing your enemies head-on with samurai style and using quick movements and special techniques with ninja style, all with a fast-paced combat and an immersive character developing with many builds, weapons, and much more.
How foolish of you.
お前の力はこの程度か。まだまだ。
Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is surely going to be a nostalgic experience for the fans of the original Ninja Gaiden games. It'll be set in 2D stages, with a fast combat style, mixing the original game style with new movements and graphics. It's being developed by the studio The Game Kitchen, and as a retro gamer I must say that this looks insane for me, so I'm really excited about this game. This new graphic style looks ravishing, mixing cartoon and pixel art, riveting. So if you, just like me, are a fan of old school games, I think you should keep an eye out for this new version of Ninja Gaiden. And the game is coming out in July 31st, 2025, PlayStation 4 and 5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows.
Up you go! What are you doing?
Pragmata is a curious upcoming game. It promises to be a game with an immersive story and universe, with beautiful and realistic graphics, and a unique style. The game is being developed by Capcom and was supposed to be released some years ago already, but was postponed, and now it's confirmed to be released in some moment of 2026, but with no specific date yet, and it'll be released on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5 and PC.
Targets identified. Neutralizing threats.
Neutralize? Us?
Looks like we're gonna have to fight our way through.
What the?
Bypassing first and second firewalls. Hooking control protocols. Initiating hack!
Hey, D.I.
I said I am
Okay. Look, how about we call you Diana?
Diana?
Scott Pilgrim EX is a new beat-em-up game in this beloved universe. It's being developed by the studio Tribute Games and is planned to be released in 2026 and is coming to PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch, and Windows. An action-adventure game where players can fight as Scott Pilgrim, Ramona Flowers, and more as they battle through the fractured time and space of Toronto. The combat gameplay is driven by instinct and improvisation, a hectic ballet of fists and flair that rewards strategy, spontaneity, and a good bit of brawling chaos.
It's all right. Lunka! Don't hurt her!
The Blood of the Dawnwalker is the new game by the director of The Witcher 3. He left CD Projekt Red and is now creating a whole new game. The new studio is Rebel Wolves. They promise us to develop a AA game with the quality of a AAA. If you don't know, that's about how much money will be used in the development, and let's be honest, he knows how to make games. It'll be set in immersive open world filled with vampires, and in some moment, the protagonist will be also a half vampire, what makes it even more interesting. The gameplay will be fluid and with a lot of possibilities, and like The Witcher, you choose the destiny of the world by your decisions, what is always interesting when you want to replay the game. It's coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Microsoft Windows, with no release date yet.
For all of you. Time. For some, heals. For others, it wounds.
Code Vein 2 is a sequel of a beloved Souls-like game released in 2019. It's being developed by Bandai Namco Studios and is planned to be released in some moment of 2026 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Windows. An epic adventure awaits, where you and your chosen partners explore a vast world, face fierce battles against powerful enemies, and uncover an epic story that transcends time. So if you played the original one and enjoyed, this one promises to be even greater.
Sense of ruin. In this time, or maybe the next, you'll find how to save us all.
What's your attention? What do you see?
Giant. Sleeping.
Again.
Animals. Fighting.
Again.
Cronos: The New Dawn is a new survival horror developed by the studio Bluebird team. If you don't know, it's the studio that developed the remake of the beloved Silent Hill 2, and they did a great job there, so I'm curious to see the final version of the game. Some things that are extremely important in a survival horror game are visuals of enemies and environments, gameplay, immersion, a good combat in case the game got a combat system, and a good story. And this game seems to have all of these things. Of course we'll need to see it for real to really know how it's going to be, but it looks good in the trailer. And the story will be immersive and with time travel features, what's always complex to do. And it's coming out in 2025 to Xbox Series XS, PS5, and Windows.
Such is our calling.
Stellar Blade is a great action-adventure game mixed with mechanics of Souls-like. It was already released on PlayStation 5 in 2024, and it'll now be released on PC in June 11, 2025, and it was developed by the studio Shift Up Corporation. Save humanity from extinction in post-apocalyptic action-adventure Stellar Blade. Experience blistering combat and a twisting storyline as you unravel the mysteries of Earth's downfall.
All of the men in this room are bound by blood. This is a family. And in this family, we follow a code of honor. It is not forgiving. To be deceived do not exist among us. Do you wish to commit yourself? Life.
Mafia: The Old Country is the fourth game of an acclaimed and beloved series. I mean, the third game is not that beloved, but there are some fans of it too. The game is being developed by the studio Hangar 13, the studio responsible for Mafia 3. As I said, it's not the most beloved game, but they also did Mafia 1 Remake. That's an excellent game, and now it'll be their new chance of creating a good story. The game will be released in August 8, 2025 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and Windows. The game will be set before of the other games, in the start of 20th century, and promises to be a game with a great storytelling like the first two games. Code Violet is a new third-person survival horror game with dinosaurs. It's being developed by the studio team Kill Media, and it will launch exclusively for PlayStation 5, up to July 2025. A game that looks simple, but still really fun, with mechanics from Resident Evil games, and of course, Dino Crisis, the most beloved dinosaur survival horror series to this day. So if you miss the classic horror games with dinosaur, this one, despite it's simple, it looks really fun. Let's just hope it's launched in a good state.
I give you my blood. Turn, O wheel, and transport it.
The Duskbloods is the new game of the beloved studio From Software, but you fan of From Software games, this one shall be different. It's described as a PvPvE multiplayer focused game, so I wonder how it's really going to work, cause it's really different of any other From Software games. The game is planned to be released in 2026, and it's going to be an exclusive game of Nintendo Switch 2, something that no one ever thought it was possible, since From Software usually works alone, or with PlayStation. But despite all that, the style of the game is still in the same style, a dark and bizarre world, and now, the theme is going to be about vampires, what looks really fun.
I bet you think I'm here for the gold and jewels, right? Well, you'd be dead wrong. It's okay. I got you, pal. Just you and me.
Search everywhere!
Those dirty Inquisition always in the wrong place.
Styx Blades of Greed is a new game of this stealth series. The last game released was a long time ago, but now we finally have a new game announced. It's being developed by the studio Cyanide and will be released still in 2025, but with no official date yet, and it'll be available on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and Windows. The Master of Stealth is back. Explore the dizzying heights of the Izerian continent and cunningly eliminate your enemies. Thanks to your quartz powers, you are freer than ever. Be creative. Never has it felt so good to be greedy. So if you like stealth games, this shall be interesting. It's set in a fantasy and medieval world, with creatures and a lot of things that can kill you.
Kids, it's not about doing it. It's about getting away with it. I never felt anything like this before. I love it.
But you are hunting. Still think you're the hunter?
Ghost of Yotei is the sequel of the acclaimed game Ghost of Tsushima, and now we're going to play in an adventure set over 300 years later. The game is being developed by Sucker Punch Productions, and the players will explore the lands and the surroundings of Yotei, and will see different types of environments through the game, since overgrown areas, to cold and snowy places, all that set in the year 1603, with amazing graphics and a huge open world to explore. The first game was really beautiful, so I believe this one will be even more, and the release date was finally announced, and it's October 2nd, 2025, and it's coming out for PlayStation 5.
What we're going to do with this one, Saito?
I'm sorry it came to this, little wolf.
Situ Rainu. Why do you always call me that?
Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet is the new game of the famous and beloved studio Naughty Dog, the studio responsible for the first Crash Bandicoot games, Uncharted series, and The Last of Us, some extremely good video games, but this one is a whole new adventure. The game was announced not so much time ago, so we still don't know much about it, but it's set in a futuristic universe, with travels across planets and galaxy. The gameplay wasn't revealed yet, but the graphics looks extremely good. The game is coming out only on PlayStation 5, and this is a game that many people didn't like of the first trailer, but we still need to see more of it. Sonic Racing Crossworlds is the next racing game of the famous Sonic and his friends. The game is being developed by the studio Sonic team, and looks really fun for the ones that likes racing games in the kart style. The Sonic Racing series is extremely fun, especially to play with friends, with a nice gameplay and fun tracks, and I believe this one is going to be really fun too, and if you like it, it's coming out in September 25th, 2025, and the game will be available on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series, and Microsoft Windows.
Stay here and stand guard.
If you push too much, you might unleash the beast.
Dying Light: The Beast is a standalone adventure from the original games, and it's being developed by Techland. In case you don't know how it works, it's an open world filled with zombies, so you need to survive, using different types of weapons, which you can explore for more. But the most interesting part of the game is the gameplay itself, with a first-person camera and insane parkour movements. For the ones who like especially the first Dying Light, you should keep an eye out for this game, and it's coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Windows, in August 21st, 2025.
He's experimenting on humans like they're lab rats. God only knows what the Baron's planning to do with those monsters.